Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 24th of February. Before we get on to looking at the markets themselves, let's have a look at the risk factors coming through in terms of news today. He quickly clips here. Right, if you've been looking at the markets, first thing you'll notice is the dollar yen's flown, or the yen has weakened against everything, purely on this comment that's been released here. Apparently, the Japan Prime Minister has relayed to the Bank of Japan's governor that he has reservations about a further rate hike. There you go. Oh, the power of government, eh? Anyway, so that's happening. Of course, we've got the situation with Trump, and the tariffs are still feeding around in the background. There's not a lot we can do regarding that, aside of either staying out of the markets or treading carefully, and treading carefully seems the logical place. News today, we don't have a great deal here. We've got the monetary policy hearings in the UK here. We do actually, coming back onto the financial news here, we do have quite a number of speakers this afternoon. Now, of course, when they're speaking, they'll put forward their current views now of how they see things, so in terms of the markets, etc., and the reaction possibly to Trump's reactions, and so all in all, could be a bit of volatility around the afternoon as ever, and it looks like it's going to be a relatively quiet run around the morning. So let's get on and look at the technicals, and we'll start off looking at the euro dollar on the. Now, yesterday I was talking in the morning, and we had a little morning meeting, and which we followed on with, and I'm looking really at taking the euro or looking at the euro or the pound on the short side. Now I'm short on the pound as it happens. It was just a better opportunity at the time. Euro had pushed through its pivot a little bit, but the same sort of situation. It was in a reasonable downtrend. I was just waiting for the reaction. It did kiss that 50 MA. In fact, that's doing it a misjustice actually, because the 50 MA started moving down as price moves down. That's coming down. Eventually it'll probably look like it's touched it. Anyway, it didn't. But it's air kissed that sort of area, but it is breaking down slowly, and it really, when I say slowly, I really mean slowly. We did have this little rally about midday, but that at the moment is holding off a little bit. Entries today, maybe on the breakdown here, it's lost the benefit was yesterday. In terms of what I'm looking, and the bigger time frames, well, we could be seeing it coming right away back to its 200 again, the way this has been moving. If we look, it's broken the lows here, giving us a lower high, so a continuation of this move could eventually bring us down to the 200. The pound, so looking at it from a daily perspective first, I took this on the short yesterday at 135.05 or something like that. It's slow. This actually came back at one stage, retested the underside of the pivot yet again on the 4 hourlies before rolling over. But with this, just looking, really see if we can get it down towards its 4 hourly S1. It really would be quite nice. Might start tracking a stop at some stage if it sort of starts breaking around these lows, but even if it runs just down to these lows, I'm at around about a 2 to 1 in terms of risk, so it's looking okay. Hopefully others took advantage of that yesterday. Okay, it is quite slow on the hourlies here. This was the little bounce we saw on both markets. I say both markets, it just bounced off the pivot. And here you sort of got a battle of, well, do we believe what's happening with the short-term pivots or the longer-term pivots? Well, I'm playing my players off the longer-term pivots with the trend, so I'm happier with that. And well, it's rolling down okay at the moment. Entries into it now, probably not so good. I don't like chasing, but it has got, so if you're running it down towards the weekly S1, it has got some scope there. but I'll leave that to you. Um, I did, as I say, I did mention it yesterday. The yen, not liking this. This is just news. This is what's happening in terms of a bit of news that's hit the papers, hit the markets. Um, not a lot that can be done there. The Aussie's up fractionally this morning, but it's still consolidating. I was talking about this yesterday. It's more of a consolidated move. If we do see the dollar start failing a little bit, well, it might be a bit of a winner, but most of last week it did very little, so there's no point trying to chase these markets. The CAD, not too dissimilar at times. Last few days, looking softer. It's just the underside of that 50 hasn't quite caught into it yet. Yesterday just carried on softening there. There's resistance into the 200, 4 hourly 200. Immediately it's reacted to that, but looking like it's going to go back for that. Very messy on the hourlies here. Wasn't quite so bad there. Picked up again, as I say, later in the afternoon there. But for sure the euro and the pound are the better currencies here at the moment. Other currencies that I've been liking and I've been trading and I've been talking about a lot is the Euro Aussie position. It just still stays there. It's still doing what it's doing. Looking for maybe the S2. It's rather slow. I did say yesterday about, well, eventually you might just want to get out of this if it's not going to do what it's going to do. It is into this quarterly pivot. It retested it. It's coming back to retest it again. The more it knocks on the door, the more and it has broken through a little bit previously. The more it's knocking on that door, the more I believe it will run through further. So if you're in on this, still got some scope there. It didn't hit the monthly pivot, so the S2 looks like a good chance. It's around about 70% probability on a lot of markets. If you miss the pivot, run through the S1 or run through the R1, the probability is better. Right, okay, better than normal 20%. Right, so moving into other markets then. Look at gold, down 1% this morning. So just coming off, this is almost healthy. I'd rather it sort of pull back and take a slower run up there than do what it did previously, but it's tempting to be jumping on some of these retracements. I mean, it's got some scope there to break back above the daily pivot, maybe a bullish signal for a bit of a continuation for an entry there. I will look at silver as it's been popping up equally. If you look at the bigger picture here, really just running back towards the mean trend line here. So this is a mean regression channel. It's just running through here and it's just working up that way nicely, slowly. That's fine. Steadily is better than a quick rush up, than a scary run down. Right, equity markets, S&Ps. Well, it's just such a pig's ear, aren't they? Selling off yesterday in the end. It's just really quite a mess here. They are holding around the tops there. I don't like what I'm seeing here personally. Avoiding this largely. If this had been the afternoon move and it's starting where we are at the moment, a breakdown of these lows could be an opportunity on the sell side. But it's quite a mess there, and I wouldn't even be looking for the S1. I'd be looking for the previous lows there. But I wouldn't take it in the morning. Right, talking the mornings, the FTSE. So the FTSE consolidating around the highs here. So really looking for long opportunities potentially would be off the weekly pivot there. A pull back to that, and a little retracement maybe. It's struggling a little bit where it is. There's probably some divergence over the highs here. A break of the low between those two highs would trigger the potential for a bit of a move to the downside, or a bigger move to the downside there potentially. But really just chopping. Quite ugly on the equity markets, and the DAX, well, it is our go-to short normally, and that looks prettier. What time is it? 7:56. So horrible. It's gone horrible on the dailies. But look, lovely little 4-hourly sort of shootings, starry sort of a bar there on the previous one. Does look soft at the moment. This might be a little morning trade back down towards its daily S1, towards that area. It might not get all the way there in first opportunity. It's pre 8 o'clock. Wouldn't touch it yet. Wait until post 8 o'clock. Give it a little while to start moving. But there's a potential. Right, I shall leave you on that. So currency wise, the pound, the euro, or the euro and the pound both look soft still. Equity markets, maybe this DAX. Gold just waiting for a retrace there. Oil I didn't cover, sorry. Finally, just quick look of oil, but it's been pushing to the upside all over the place, consolidating again. Once again, a bit consolidated. It's very difficult to trade unless you're leaving really wide stops and just playing the potential of a continuation to the upside for now, before it all gets shot down again. Anyway, there we go. I wish you a great day, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Bye for now. Nice one, Prince. Right, catch you later.